Welcome. Hello, everyone. Hoping this is working because we haven't done so many lives lately. Who knows? Who knows? Welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. I'm excited about today's live because I came up with 4 cards that I want to share today. I have 4 planned, and I have a big giveaway at the end. And I also have lots of sales stuff. Hello, everyone. Hi, Brianne. Hello, hello, all. Brianne is here. She's my link ninja. She is my my most helpful human. She's the best. She is. Oh, Mike didn't like that I said that. She's the one who helps in the comments, helps with finding links for everyone. She's super fast. She and Mike like to race, and Brianne always wins. So, okay, I have a lot to share. We have 4 cards. Yeah, they're planned out. So I'm just kind of recreating them and making some changes. So I should be able to share quite a bit with those. I have lots of techniques, a lot of different techniques. If you don't know, today is one of the biggest crafty sales days of the year. It is the annual Concord and 9th sale. So it is, they call it an inventory blowout. So basically everything on the site is on sale except for their last release that came out last month and a few new products they came out with today. Otherwise, everything I believe is 20 to 70% off. So here's the thing. I use Concord and 9th almost every month. If you go to my website and click on video gallery, you can search on company and you can go to Concord and 9th and you can see all the videos I did. So if you want to, using Concord 9th. So if you wanted to scroll back through some of my old videos, maybe there was a card you liked at the time but didn't want to get the product and maybe it's on sale now, it's definitely, that might be a good way to do this. Now there's a lot of information today. I've got a lot, and I wanted to let you know that the best way to go, especially today, is to go to the link at the top of my YouTube description that has it's a link that has the word live in it. If you click that and open it to a new window, you'll see lots of information. Mike, I gave you 3 images that say live. Can you do live 1 first? This is what it'll look like when you go to that page, okay? At the top will be the sales information from Concord and 9th. And if you click that link, it'll take you to all the sales information. And you can break it up. Once you get there, you can search in the 70% off category, 60% off category, and be able to find things. And by the way, the 20 and 30% categories include Christina Werner products, all right? Then if you scroll down from that, you will see products featured. And these are thumbnails of all the products that I'm using today so that they'll be easy to find. Then if you scroll down a bit more, you'll see videos featured. I'm going to show you some pictures of cards and products. These are cards that I've done in the past. And those products featured on those cards are all 40% off to 70% off. I went through all the videos I've done with any of the products that are 40 to 70% off. I've done a lot with the 20 to 30% off, but I wanted to go for those big discount ones. So at the bottom of that page, you'll see videos featured. And here you'll see first is the video where I use the product. And then next to it is that product on sale. Then there's another video and the product. So you can find lots of things easily here on that page. So I will put that link, the live link, in the chat right now, so you can click that and open up to a new page. Now, I will say I have the 4 cards, but I also have pictures of cards that I've done in the past and the products that I used on it that are all 40 to 70% off. So I'm thinking, should I make a card and then go through those, or go through those and make cards? What do you think, Mike?
How about the first idea?
What was the first idea?
I don't know.
Let me know in the comments. Should I have a bunch of card images and then the products that are on sale. Those are the ones that I have linked all those videos. Should I go through showing some of those and then make cards, or should I make one card and then go through those examples? Can you scroll it so I can see? I want to see what you guys think. keep in mind, I think Concord and 9th has free shipping over $125. So that should be a great way to save too. Okay, so I see one person said make a card first. So let's see what folks say. Go through first, products first. Sale is amazing. Let's see the cards. Products are on sale. Okay, let's go through it all first. So I'm going to go through, I'll go through them quickly, okay? Keep in mind, if you go to that page that I linked you to, at the bottom will be thumbnails for all the videos for the cards I'm about to show you and links to those products. Another thing you can do is in my description, I have videos for sale items. I'm going to add that in the chat too. That will open up a list of just these card videos that I'm about to show you, okay? So we're going to go through those. Let's see, hang on just one second. All right, Mike.
Yes.
Let's see, let's do first the playful pieces. So Mike's going to show you, I'll show you, you'll see here in a moment what we're going to do. He's going to, I have so many images for him. He's trying to find them. Hang on. Yeah, there's a lot. This is a great time to save. And there's holiday stuff that you could use in the new year too. Or in the, for the...
Okay, there it is.
Okay, playful pieces is first.
I just have to learn my alphabet.
There we go. Okay. So playful pieces bundle is over there on the right. It is a background die. So that's a full-size A2 background die and a stamp set. And I did a video where I made a bunch of different cards with this. And that bundle is 70% off right now. Again, if you want to see the video where I made these cards, they're linked below in the videos for sales item link, okay? Next up, let's do Love Lines, Mike. All right, that's Love Lines there. Love Lines is the die set that's there in the middle. I really like that Love, Love, Love You die, which I used on the card on the left. It also has lots of little hearts and a banner die in it. And that one is, I think that's 70% off. Then over on the right-hand side is the potpourri die. It has that potpourri background, some word dies, and some little add-ons. I use that for the background on the card. I actually used alcohol ink on Yupo paper, and then I die cut it with that die. And the potpourri die, let's see. Let me look it up. That potpourri die is 30% off. So the die set in the middle, Love Lines, is 70% off, and the potpourri die on the right is 30% off. Okay, so that's another one. I have a video for that one. Then we have, how about Eclectic Blooms? So the sentiment on this next one, it's a very simple card. I use So Kind of You and the coordinating die. And that bundle, the middle bundle, the stamps and dies, that's 70% off. And then you can see behind it, there's like a ray of dots. That is the rays set, the sun rays set. Let me see what that one is. I tried to find ones that were on the biggest discount. That Happy Rays die set over on the right is 70% off. So both of those sets there are 70% off, and I use them both on that card. All right. Next up, how about Threads of Kindness? This is one of my favorites. The next two are favorites of mine. So this one is a die set that cuts piercing holes that you can stitch if you want to or not stitch. And there is a layering stencil set to color it. And there's a stamp set that coordinates. So that whole bundle there is 60% off, which is a huge savings. Some of these you can buy the individual elements on different price discounts, but the bundle here is 60% off. Was there a second example for that? And then here you can see I use that same bundle and I created a shaped card. Remember, if you want videos for all of these, they all are in that live link that I have at the top of the YouTube description. All right, next up is my other favorite, which is the Whimsical Wings. So Whimsical Wings, there's actually a stamp set and there is a die set, and those are 60% off. And I used it for the card that you see there. This was one of my favorite cards to make last year. I just think it's fantastic. And then I do have, so that was done with the stamps. Mike, can you show the die set too? There we go. And that one is done with the dies. So that's the Whimsical Wings. Next we have World's Greatest. This one I used a lot last year because I created all of the graduation cards for my son's friends using the World's Greatest. I've also done teacher cards too. This one is 40% off, and there is the die set and the stamp set, and it can be used in many ways. I made it so that I tucked money into the pocket at the top of it, which I think is really fun. Many ways you could use this for any kind of congratulations or appreciation type card. I loved making these, and I have a video that shows how I made lots and lots of those. So that's World's Greatest, and that's 40% off. Next up is Much Love, which is one of my most used die sets because look at all those cards I made. I did a video showing this, and it had tips for mass producing. So this is a background die that's an A2 size, and layering stencils, and that bundle there is 50% off. I did a video with that where I showed how I made lots of cards pretty quickly, and you can see quite a few of them there. That Much Love was, I actually picked that as one of my favorites in the Concordia Night Favorite Things video they do at the end of the year. I'm going to skip through some of these. Mike, can you do Poinsettia Quilt? So this one's really cool because you can create a card base from the outline die, and then with the little triangle and different shapes you can layer to create a really cool pattern on your background. Now this has the word joy in it, so it's great for the holidays. However, you could use the shapes without the holiday, and that joy is my most used holiday sentiment because I use it on a lot of different holiday cards. So if you watched any of my holiday videos last year, you saw that joy a lot because it has the shadow and the word itself, easy to add onto any card. And that set there, the quilted dies, is 50% off. All right, next is the Bravo Bundle. This is one I also used for teacher cards last year, along with the big one that I showed you earlier. I'm going to show you the stamp and die set. It was really quick to create these for teacher cards. It has in that set little prize ribbons and other sentiments, which I'll show you in a bit. But I used that in a video, and that is 50% off. Let's see. Let's do, go to Triple Step. I'm not going to show all of them. I'm just going to show some, but know that I have more videos linked. This is the Triple Step Heart. I had a good time with this one. I think I made like 20 cards with it in this video, maybe 15. And both the stamp set and the die, which work well together or separately, are 40% off. So that stamp set, you stamp the 3 hearts together and it forms a colorful heart, or you can use the die, or you can use them together. It was really a lot of fun to make those cards. Be sure to check out that video, the Triple Step Heart video. Those products are 40% off. Mike, can you do the triangle background? I'm only going to show a couple more. Triangle background. This was another one that I went a little crazy with. I actually did a video a couple of years ago when Concordia Ninth came out with their cardstock, and I asked lots of my favorite artists, from Christina Werner to Tim Holtz to Kathy Zilski. I asked them for color combo suggestions, and I made a card for every color combo from all of my artist friends. So all of those cards that you see there share color combos that my friends came up with. You could probably figure out the one on the top that's kind of peeking up in the top left is the Tim Holtz color combo because it's browns and grays. But you can see a lot of the other bright, colorful combos I did, and all of those were with this triangle background. So that is a faux stitching triangle background die. that creates like a pierced pattern, and at the top are dies that cut a bunch of triangles. And I just glued them into the pattern, creating a ton of different cards. You can see they all have a different look to them. That was, I think, probably one of the most fun times I had making a video, because I was using color combos from friends and lots of die cutting and just gluing them together to make a lot of cards. So the triangle background there is, let's see, 40% off right now. And I may use that later today. Let's see. Mike, why don't you do the flower garden? All right, hang on. The flower garden background there is, let's see, how much is that? The flower background that you see there is, I can't find it. Hold on, I'll pull it up. Just a second. That is 40% off. So that's a turnabout stamp, which I will demonstrate a turnabout today. And that's what I used for that colorful background on the card. So that stamp set is 40% off. Then over on the right, you see the U die. That U die, I think it's called All For You. Let me see. Make sure I'm not telling you the wrong thing. Is that right? Yes, All For You die set. So the All For You die set over on the right that I used there for the thank you sentiment, that is 40% off, and I'll actually be using that one in today's video. I think I just have a couple more to show. Gosh, there's so many. So many I want to show. Let's do the card stacks, Mike. So this card stacks die set is one of those that I think is a good base for cards. It allows you to create that pop-up card that you see on the left. So it creates that pop-up base. It'll flatten to fit in an A2 envelope. And you can add anything to it. Here I added little houses. You can add flowers, you can add anything to it. But the nice thing about the card stacks die set there that's 40% off is it's a base that you can use with other products you have. It makes it really easy to put together. And you can see the card that it creates. In that video where I used the card stacks, I actually showed how to make it tall too. So you can check out that video if you want more ideas. Can you scroll it? And then keep in mind that a lot of Christina Werner products are on sale in the 20 to 30% off category. Can you show the berries and leaves stencils? I know that the berries and leaves stencils were super popular over the holidays, and those are 30% off right now. So that's just a look at some of the things on sale, just some of the things that I have videos for. I have more linked, but I didn't want to take the time to show them all here in the live. So you can come back, Mike. Just know that I have more videos and products linked. Those are all, everything I linked are Concord and Ninth products that are 40 to 70% off, and Christina Werner products are 20 to 30% off. Now, I did say everything on the site. I shouldn't say that. Like their cardstocks and their inks and such aren't on sale. But as far as like their products, like their dies, stencils, and all that, dies, stencils, stamps, embossing folders, those are all on sale, 20 to 70% off, excluding last month's release and a few products they just came out with. All right, so that's just a quick rundown. No, you can go back and check that out again, but also I have, I will put the link again in the chat. The videos for all the cards and the products for all the cards I just showed and more, I just put in the chat. All right, okay. I want to create, so I didn't want to spend too much time doing that. It is a huge sale, biggest sale. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to start out with something that you all wanted me to use in a previous live, so I thought I would use it today. So one of the lives that I did with you all where I let you vote on what I use. One of the lives I let you vote where I use, and it was down to I think this and maybe some chickens. You all voted for the chickens, but a lot of you wanted me to use this, so I thought I'd use it today. This is the Along the Path bundle, let's see. I thought I had it written down. See, the Along the Path bundle, this bundle is 40% off. Okay, so the bundle includes a stamp set, an embossing folder, which I'll show you how it works, and a die set. I'm going to show you how to create a fun flap card with this. Let me show you the card so you know the direction we're heading in. I'll probably change things up a bit, but here is the card and it opens like that. So you can write your personal sentiment on the white inside and it stands up with that little path kind of floating on the front. Now this die set can be used to make a lot of different things. I did it where she's walking a dog, but you can do it where she's holding a bouquet. So you could do a bride and a groom, because there's two different people you could put. You can put her in a dress, you can put her in tennis shoes, high heels, you can do a boy, you can do a girl, you can do whatever you want. There's actually, so there's a bouquet for flowers. There's a tassel, graduation cap and tassel and diploma, which I also used, let me find it, because I needed to make a card for one of Colin's friends. So I used all the elements to create this graduate with this cap and gown and diploma. And I'll show you the stamps I used on that in a moment. But I didn't use the path on this, but I used the body parts on it. And I just thought that was a nice, simple card. But I'll talk about that one in a moment. Don't let me forget. But I thought we would make this guy today. All right, so this is Along the Path and it's 40% off. I did, again, prepare everything so that I will be able to do the cards a little more quickly and share lots of ideas. If you have questions, please do questions in capital letters at the beginning of your question. So hopefully Mike and I don't miss it. All right. Okay. So first up, I used the Path die, this big die here, to cut from Concord and 9th Pebble cardstock. So it's like a warm light gray. And then there is the Along the Path embossing folder that comes with it. And if you put that right in the center of the folder and close it, it will put like pebbles along the path. On the outside of it, you see there's like grass that we aren't using right now. So just that center, if you lay it right in the center, it'll work. How is Concord and 9th white ink on dark cardstock? You know what? I'll use it later. How about that? I will use it later. So I put my path into the embossing folder, and you can use this with whatever die cut machine you may have. For the Empress, I put it between two clear plates, and that seems to do the trick for 2D embossing folders. Yeah, so wedding, general, like mine is just for missing you card, but really you can do any. And then think about it, like if you have a little cat die, you could put a cat on there. You could add other elements. Concord and 9th has a lot of different scene elements that you can use. See how it adds those little, oops, there was cardstock on the back of it. I wondered why it had those impressions, little flowers on the back of it. So there we have our path, okay? Now, let me move these flowers out of the way. They got squished. Okay, now I have a piece of parsley cardstock, and this is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches. And I'll put that in the center, and you'll see this will get the embossing on the whole panel, but our path will cover it up so only the green portion has the grass tufts there. Hey. The Missing You die is from Christina Werner. Let me get that out. It should be, can you make sure this is in the supply list? It's called Missing Your Hugs. This one is, Missing Your Hugs is in the 30% off category. So there is a big stamp set, or there's a die set, and the dies cut out the words tight, like thin. And then there are shadow dies that you can use for those die cut words or for the stamp set. I love that Christina does that. So they can be used together or separately. But I use just the dies for this. But I'm thinking I might go back and inside under the path, like right here, stamp So Much It Hurts or something like that. I'm missing you, so much it hurts. I think that'd be nice. Or just so much. All right. Oh, Rena did my hair, yes. Rena did my hair. However, I don't dye my hair, so she just cut it and put some layers in. I didn't do anything with it today, otherwise it might be noticeable, but I'm not big on hair. But she, yeah, I'm no fun because I don't let anybody dye my hair. Here's the thing, I'm just too lazy because you got to keep it up. I'm too lazy and I'm too cheap, I think. I don't know. So yeah, it was wonderful to have her do it because I've known Rena for a very long time through Gina, and it was a joy to be with her. And gosh, it's like not only get your hair cut, it's like comedy and therapy all at the same time. She is a hoot. Okay, so now I want to go ahead and do this inside panel. So I took the path die and cut it from white cardstock, but I want it to be narrow. I don't want the path and the inside to be the exact same as the outside because it might be hard to line up. So I'm just going to offset it a bit. So I'm going to go like that, so that when I cut it, it's going to make it skinnier. All right. Yeah, hey, listen, my mom dyes her hair. I get it. I get why people do it. I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm still at the point where I feel like I've earned those grays. I don't know. Maybe not. Okay, so now see how this isn't as wide, so it will go behind it and it won't peek out by accident. All right, so that's for the inside. And then we have the path for the front. Now I want to create a piece. So I'm done with this for now, but that gives me the texture on the background, which we can also stamp on, which I might do. We'll see. We'll see, we'll see. Okay, next up, I wanted to create a flap here so that our path is the front of the card. So I'll do some partial die cutting here. There are a few ways to do this, but this is what, I don't know, this is what I thought would make the most sense to me at the time. So I have my path die, and I'm going to lay it down, but I am leaving the edge of the die out, hanging off the cutting plates. So this edge of the die will be hanging out. Let me line up all my cutting plates and show you. I'm doing partial die cutting. Let's hang it out some more. Let me think, yeah. So it's hanging, see how it's hanging out the top there? So when I run this through, it will not cut that top edge. Yeah, they are gray highlights, aren't they? That's what you know, I'd rather buy craft supplies. Like I bought a bunch of inks before I left. I'd rather, you know. All right, so there is my path. Now notice the top edge isn't cut because I just did partial die cutting. So let me cut this off here just so I can show you. Now I want that to continue, all right? So I will just take, I'm basically making the top of my path longer. So I'm gonna keep cutting. Just kind of keep cutting. It doesn't matter what it looks like up there. So I made my path longer. Gran is doing good. Gran is staying busy. That's what she does. She stays busy. Usually means coming over to my house and doing something because her house is perfect. So it's good for her to come to my house, which is not perfect, and putter around. That's what we call it when she does it. Okay, so now I have a path that is longer. See that? That is going to allow us to make that flap. So let's see here. I'm going to take this and glue it onto the front of that. And I'm going to line it up at the bottom, and that top part will be hanging out the top. See how the path hangs out the top? Perfectly fine. It's hanging out there. Isn't that fun? Yeah, you could add glitter to this. There's a lot you could do. All right, next up. I'll put this into my scoreboard and score right along that cut edge, right there. Okay, right along that edge, so I'm putting it in, and I'll score right along that edge. so I can fold that flap back. I did not score that well. There we go. So now that has a flap at the top of our path. See that? Yeah, it is good for her. She needs to, that woman needs to stay busy. I think that's probably the best thing for her. We're going to Greece in a few weeks. That'll be good for her. And then my second oldest is getting married in the second half of July. And she wasn't going to be able to go because of my dad being sick, but now she'll be able to go. And she's excited because she really likes who my, where did that ink go? She really likes the man that Audrey is marrying. Where did my pebble ink go? Where'd it go? Where did it go? My pebble ink walked away. I had it out. I think I'm going to have to use Dove instead. So I should use Pebble. Darn. I'm looking. I should use Pebble, but I can't find my Pebble ink. I used it earlier. Anyway, what I have are there's little rock stamps in here, and I'm going to stamp those along the path. This is Pebble cardstock, and I really should stamp these rocks with Pebble ink. This is going to be this is Dove, which will be too dark, but that's okay. I can't find my Pebble ink, so I'm just using this right now. All right, other questions, Mike? No discount codes because everything is already on sale. I mean, everything is 20 to 70% off. All the stamps, dies, stencils, and such, except for the new stuff that came out today, which I don't have to use, and last month's release. So no discount codes on top of that. They'd be giving it away. The magnetic mat on the Empress. Somebody asked how to clean the magnetic mat on the Empress. I don't clean it. Maybe somebody else does in the comments. I just leave mine. Michelle asks, could you add the link to videos or tell me where to find it? If you look at the top of my YouTube description, scroll down a little bit. Right under supplies, it says videos on sale items, and that's the link. Mike, can you add it in the chat? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So I added some pebbles on there. Missing you is thin. Is it hard to add? You'll see. It's not bad at all. I'll show you how I overcome that challenge in just a moment. Okay. We'll do the grass in a moment. All right, so I have my I'm a little flustered, getting back at this, okay? This is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch parsley with the grass embossed on it. I'm gonna put adhesive on the back of this flap and place it right to the top of my card. So it gets folded right across the top. So it's glued to the back, all right? And press that down. So there is our flap. Someone said the magnetic mat can be cleaned with a toothbrush and water. There you go. I think that's what they said. I don't know. Who wants to clean unless you have to? I just leave it. The postage stamp turnabout, I'll be using that a little bit later. So good thing you bought it because you'll get to see it in action. All right, I have a piece. Now, I don't want the back of the card to look like this, so I've cut a piece of white cardstock that's just a little bit smaller than the green so that it doesn't peek out the other side. And I'll glue this on the back to sandwich that piece. So now there is our card base. All right. Now I thought I'd add some little grass to the grass. There's embossed grass. Now I'm going to add some stamped grass. I will use parsley again. If you want it to stand out more, you could use a different color, but I'm doing parsley on parsley, and I think it works out okay. All right. Are you planning to do another Christmas card, Christmas? Okay, somebody asked, I'm out of sorts, man. Whew. Somebody asked, are we going to do an OCC Christmas class? Yes, we are. I'm not sure who will design the products. It won't be me, but they will be awesome. They will be awesome. I'm not sure. Will all your online card classes use Christina's products? I don't think so. I don't think so. We have some other friends that we would like to work with. You guys can probably guess who some of my friends are that we'd like to work with. So I think it might be fun to do that. But that format is the format we're going to stick with for a while because it really has worked out very well for us. I think folks have liked it because it's the OCC classes, if you've never taken an online card class, it's very inexpensive, like $30 or whatever, and we teach a ton of cards that can be done with products you have on hand, or you can buy the products that we use separately. So it's nice if you're just looking to, create from your stash. People definitely do that and share those ideas in the Facebook group. It's really neat to see. Italy is my mom and Lila and I, and Christina Werner, and Diana Curtis and Leanne Kelly, who are both here in the chat, some crafty friends. My mom, a few years ago, asked me if I would help her knock some things off of her bucket list. And what that's resulted in is cruises with myself and Colin, or myself and Lila. And we just did Norway with her a little bit ago. Colin and I went to Norway with her. And Lila and I are going to Greece with her. What was the name of the sunshine dies Jennifer used on the pass card? That was the Rays, something Rays. It's in the description. No, it's not. Let me see. It's called Happy Rays die set. Okay, so I have the path here, and I've done a bit of prep here so that I could pull this together quickly. Keep in mind there's lots of different little flowers here that you can add. I'm just doing some simple ones. There are lots of different outfits you can add. You could do a dress here. You could do, there's different types of pants. You can really change this up to get different looks. Yeah, there is no new release for Christina Werner for this month. Every June, I believe, that Concord and Ninth takes, I think these are the wrong pants for her, but that works. Every June, Concord and Ninth takes the month off from new products. So they have a few new products. I did the wrong ones here, hang on. They have a few new products, but not many. They were like, I think from camps or something in the past. So not everybody has them, but now they're available to everyone. All right. Welcome, I'm glad you're all here. Yeah, Greece is something that we've wanted to do. And by the way, with my mom, we do cruises because it's just easier to see all the places we want to see in Europe with her. So she's 81, going on 30. Am I right, Mike?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, she has more energy than Mike and I combined. And Colin, gosh. Yeah, we wear Colin out on these trips. He gets really tired. Okay, so there are little cuffs you can put on the pants, and this is where I feel I have to be responsible and mention that there are lots of details you can add to these. So many details. Concord and Ninth. Hi, Concord and Ninth. Who's here? Is it Lindsay? Greg texted and said he couldn't be here today. But is that Lindsay here? Concord and Ninth is wonderful at adding details in. Lots of different things that you can add. Keep that in mind, like you could stamp little polka dots on here. There's a lot you can do, but I'm trying to, I don't know, it's a balance, right? I like the little details, but not everybody does. So know that you can make it your own. All right, so I put a little cuff on the pants, and instead of doing two different blue cardstocks, I just, what?
Lindsay.
It's Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Lindsay is a rock star. hang on. Instead of doing 2 different colors of cardstock, I cut them both from the same blue, and then I'm using a Copic marker just to color the little cuffs. Yeah, Jesse said live like Grant. It's true. Jesse's my coach, and when I hired him, he asked me what my goals are, and I said I want to be like my mom. I want to be like my mom. I want to be energetic like her, and I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is Along the Path. The bundle is 40% off? No. Hang on, I will find it. Along the Path, it's 40% off. So it's an embossing folder, a stamp set, and a die set. Okay, so I've got the legs and the shoes. There's different shoes that it cuts here. So you can do boots or whatever. I just went with the high heels because I think they're cute. Not that I would go walking my dog with high heels on. Let's be very clear about that. That would not happen. Now, I want to just show you a little trick. This is one of those things you could skip. But this is one of those ideas for getting more from stretching your dies. It's a small example, but it works really well with this one. Okay, so if you see this die here, it cuts little faux stitching along the bottom edge, and that's what I used for the shirt here. Well, I cut another one of those from a lighter blue. So this is, what color is that? Ocean? Oh, gosh, I'm losing my mind. And Aqua Sky. I should tell you all the colors I'm using here. Oceanside, duh. So I use Oceanside and Aqua Sky for the shirt, and the pants are Blueberry. All right, so I cut that same piece. Now watch, when I put the die down, I'm gonna shift the die up a little bit. So I shift it up so the bottom edge where there is faux stitching is hanging out from the die. See how it's hanging out there? Then I'll run it through again. Yeah, I don't wear high heels. It's rare. Rare. Yeah, the apron is, you can get at Brutus Monroe. So there, now I have a little stripe with the faux stitching on it. And then I can glue that onto my shirt. So I can end up with a striped shirt with all that stitching detail, which I'll show you up close in a moment. Now I'm gonna make another one. So I still have left over here. I'm gonna put the die down so that the faux stitching edge is hanging out from the die, and run it through again. Yeah, the Concord and Ninth, so this is the Concord and Ninth sale. Products are 20 to 70% off. The bundle that I'm using here is 40% off. And I'll be using some 70% off later. Because why not? Okay, so there we go. Now we have a striped shirt with faux stitching detail. Let me get this up here. See that? Isn't that cute? Only took me a few minutes, and I think it adds some fun to it. And I did it on this card too. This one I used sweet pea and dragon fruit. Okay? Yes. Oh, yes, you're right. Who said that? Pattern paper. Melissa. Yes, Melissa said that this shirt and these pants and all that would be great for using up pattern paper scraps. Okay, hang on. My son is in Niagara Falls with his friends, and so when he texts, I try to be there. Okay, so I'm going to glue her up here, kind of walking on the path. And remember, this goes well at the top of this path, but my other example has it just kind of in a framed window, my graduate. Oh, good. Thank you, Karen. I always try to add tips and tricks so that, like, if you don't have a particular product I use or don't have anything similar, you can at least learn some things. Okay, next up, I need some Aqua Sky. Get some Aqua Sky. All right, now I wanted, on here, I used the leash die to create a short leash. I wanted to make a longer leash so my dog can come down lower. So I'm going to do partial die cutting again. So this is the leash die, and I'm going to have the end of the leash hang off the cutting plate. See, it's hanging out there, hanging out from the cutting plate. You can see a little bit's hanging out there. This bundle is along the path. It's all in the description below. Can you add the bundle to the chat? Can you add the along the path bundle to the chat? The apron is from Brutus Monroe, and that's linked in the supply list below too. Okay, so let me cut the extra off here. Okay, so see how it's just hooked, it's still attached to the paper. Let me show you. See how it's still attached to the paper there? I'm just going to cut it longer. It's actually not that hard to do. So I'm just going to kind of, if you make the sound, it works better. You could use string. Absolutely, Lisa, you could use string. That would be cool. And a little tip, if you're using string for something that you want it to be like loopy on your card, run liquid adhesive over the string, like pull it through your fingers with a little liquid adhesive, and that will cause it to be easy to form into whatever loops or path you want, and then you press it down. When it dries, it'll stay there. Brianne, thank you for the super chat. Yes, I turned 50 on Friday, and I'll be going live on my birthday. Mike is laughing, but you're older.
Yeah, I know.
So you can laugh all you want. So now see how this is how the leash was meant to be. Oh, come on now. And I made it longer. Little things, little things. Yeah, sound effects do help. I turned 50 on Friday, and I will be going live because I have no life. That's what I'm going to do. Why not? There are worse things I could be doing. So let's put this on her hand. Now I'm just using liquid adhesive on the back here. This is Gina K Connect in a fine tip bottle. If you want something that's easier to work with, you could have put double-sided tape on the back of it before you die cut, and that would be like nice and easy. It turns it into a sticker. Now, there we go. Yay! Now my little dog, I'm going to name him Gus. There's Gus. I want a golden retriever named Gus. Now he's on a longer leash. It's the little things. Little things. Yeah, I'm happy to be to turn 50. As far as I'm concerned, it's better than the alternative. Oops, Gus fell off. Oh, Cindy, thank you. I appreciate it. Very kind. So yeah, I'll be going live. I'm going live Wednesday at 3 and Friday at 3 because apparently I have no life. No, the reason I'm doing it is to force myself to get back in the groove. Debbie, yes, Debbie, I agree. Thank you. Turning 50 is a gift. Because, you know, it's a blessing, and I'm still able to do what I love. I look younger? Oh no, you can't. It must be the lighting. Right, Mike?
I'm not saying anything.
Oh, Mike knows better than to say anything. Okay, so I'm just adding little flowers. These flowers were cut with the along the path die set, and then I've just added tiny little die cut or tiny little yellow circles to the center because I like that detail. But you don't have to. You could skip those. But I put those together earlier. Oh, come on now. I put those together earlier so that we wouldn't have to do it during the live. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Were there more questions? Will I glue my flowers down? What's another one?
Things on your bucket list.
Oh, things on my bucket list. I have little things on my bucket list, like one of them was to go live with Gina at her place. And another thing on my bucket list was to have Rena cut my hair. So I knocked 2 things on my bucket list last week. A lot of little things like that. Yeah, there are some places that we want to visit, that I really want to visit, like Japan, which I'll be doing with Mike, and some others in my family next spring. But a lot of mine are little things, like having Rena cut my hair. What would be a way to make the dog look furry? An easy way to make the dog look furry is Gina has, it's like flocked paper, but you can run it through your fuse machine, but you don't have to. You can just die cut the flocked paper, so you can use flocked paper for the dog, and then he'd be furry. I'm adding little yellow light, or little yellow dots here and there because I like that little detail. Little flowers in the grass, but these are things you can skip. But I thought I'd do them while I answer questions. I will show what the Concord and 9th white ink looks like on colored cardstock a little bit later. It is very similar to like the Hero Arts Unicorn white ink, you know, the Gina K white ink. A lot of those are very similar. If you're needing it, now's a good time. Okay, so there we have, isn't that fun? Yeah, little dandelions. We'll call them dandelions. Next. Oh, and by the way, this is a Hero Arts background die called Circle Confetti that is discontinued, but I am on a mission to get them to bring it back. Basically, it just cuts tiny little dots, and I use it all the time. But it is Laura Adams, it's potpourri. If you search on potpourri, you'll get it. I gotta cut a little bit off the side here. There we go. Okay, next up, sentiment. Now, I'll tell you some other things I added to this guy here. I added a little bracelet, a gold bracelet, because the leash die cuts a collar for the dog, and so I used the collar from gold for a bracelet. All right, and then I did a little gold dot on his collar for a tag. All right, now, so that is the long, wait, I had a white, oh, here it is. Let's put this in next. All right, so this is the white path for the inside. I'm gonna put glue on the back of it, and then watch how I attach it. I lay it down on the gray so that I know it's hidden. See how it's, so there's a little bit of gray all the way around. Then I will close my card onto it and open it up. And there we have the path. So I have a path inside to write my personal message. You could stamp something there too if you wanted to. All right, the missing you. This is one that folks have asked about. So I want to make sure I do this. Again, this was the along the path. That's what I used for all of that. I'll show you some more with it in a moment. This is the Missing Your Hugs from Christina Werner. I think it's 40% off, but it has, I mean, look at all the dies in here. She is so good at packing in the dies. So there's missing, all of these words that you see here, the big ones, are thin dies too, which I'm going to use. So I'm going to do Missing You. You could also do Missing Your Hugs. There are lots of little heart dies. Look at all these different heart dies in here. So there are heart dies that stand alone or dies that cut out the hearts that you stamp. And then there is also a Missing You sentiment, little sentiment strip. I mean, this is packed full of things, but I'm just using the Missing You alone. Oh, Jennifer, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy to be celebrating. I'm very happy to be celebrating. Well, I won't be celebrating, but I'm happy to be turning 50. How's that? Okay, so I'm using the Missing You. The trick to this thin sentiment that I think is best is to use double-sided adhesive sheet. So this is Altenew double-sided adhesive sheet. I highly recommend this product. Highly. I think it's one of the best things to have in your craft room because it turns die cuts into stickers. So I have the double-sided adhesive on the back of this black cardstock, and I will cut Missing You. Run that through. I think I already cut it. Did I cut it already? I think I did. That's okay. We'll do it again. We were hilarious. Yeah, Gina and I tend to, what was Tom's word for us? Gidiots, because we get giddy and turn into idiots. So he called us gidiots. And let me just tell you, the whole weekend, we were gidiots the whole time. It was just madness, madness. All right, so now this has release paper. These die cuts have release paper on the back, so they're stickers. It kind of shifted, but that's okay. There we go. So now that's a sticker. And let's get the Missing You out. Here it is. And it makes it easy to apply. Now, if you don't have double-sided adhesive sheet like this, you can put strips of double-sided tape down on the back, right up close to each other, and die cut through that, or you can use liquid adhesive. But the nice thing about this, let me put these dies away so I don't lose them. This is the Missing Your Hugs from Christina Werner, and it's on sale too. Let me get this off of my... the nice thing about this is you get a little bit of wiggle time with this double-sided adhesive. So I wanted to put Missing like right here by our doggy. So I can push it down. Now I'm just pushing it down lightly, which allows me to, I could pick it up and move it. That's what I mean by wiggle time. So, but I like where that is. Now the U I'll put like right underneath, right there. You get that. See, I can move it to get it just how I want it. I think that looks good. Now I can come in with the release paper. This is the release paper I took, can you scroll it? Took off of that double-sided adhesive sheet. What I like to do is put it back on top and rub that with a bone folder, and that really will press it down and then it'll stay put. And there you have your thin sentiment. Okay? So there are my two versions. Now on this one I use Sweet Pea and Dragonfly and Buttercup for the yellow. On this one I use Oceanside and Aqua Sky. So there you have. This was created with Along the Path bundle and the Missing Your Hugs from Christina Werner. I have a problem with double-sided adhesive. When I die cut, it tears your paper. Jennifer, what kind of paper and what kind of adhesive sheets are you using? Yes, Christina has amazing, amazing sentiment sets. Yeah, this is Christina's writing. Like it's not a font, she just came up with it. So there's our first cards. Yay! Okay, Along the Path and Missing Your Hugs. Oh, let me show you this too. So I have my graduate card. I showed you I used for the graduate Along the Path, the same people, and it has the stuff to make all the graduation elements. Then I chose two other die sets. Let's see, Greatest Hits. Two different stamp sets. This stamp set, the bundle in fact, this is actually a really cool set. I never used it and I really want to. It allows you to create records. So you can create a record themed card. It has music notes too. And all of these fun, like I love the You Rock. Well, this is on sale for 30% off. I just used the Celebrate there and I stamped it with black ink. Can you come back? With black ink. So that is the Greatest Hits. I have that linked below. This is one that I almost used today. Almost. But maybe another. I know there's a lot of examples on the Concord and Ninth website for this. So this is Greatest Hits, and that's what I use for Celebrate. Then the Happy Thanks. This one's cool. I've used this in videos before too. I have it linked on my video list. Now this is a stamp set and a die set. You can buy them as a bundle or separate. This says thank you, And then there's a shadow die. And actually this cuts the letters, an outline, and a shadow die. And then Oh Happy Day. The stamp set that coordinates with it, which you could use together or separately, this has Go Crazy and So Excited for You, and I added those underneath. So this is the Happy Thanks, and I think these are on big sale here. Let's see. Oops. Yeah, this bundle, these dies, and this stamp set are 50% off. All right, and that's how I made this one. And I just use rectangle dies to cut that out, to cut a frame. And those are Concord and 9th cardstocks. So this is Happy Thanks and Greatest Hits and Along the Path on here. What Empress Die Cut Machine do I recommend? I recommend the full size, the new Elite, because they discontinued the other one. I recommend it because it can fit a lot of different things through it, whereas the Mini doesn't fit as much through it. So personally, I like the bigger size. I feel like if you're going to invest in one, you might as well go for the bigger size. I'm trying to figure out which one to do next. Okay. This one's fun too. All right, next we have Don't Forget. This is another one. That last set, the Along the Path, and this one are ones that I've been wanting to use and was happy to see they were on big time sale. This bundle is 60% off. Okay, so it has this hand and the sentiments that go with it. Mike, can you show the Don't Forget image? Here's one card that I want to recreate. I haven't done it yet. This is from the Concord and 9th website, and they said I could share it here. But notice they did your number one, and then there's like little banners or little flags that go with it, and all the different color skin tones. Love that card. Love that card. And I plan to make some more of those. My son and a lot of his friends were placed as Young Life leaders, and I thought those would be fun congratulation cards. So I'm not going to create that today, but I wanted to show that to you. But what I like about it is there's the words do not or don't forget, or you can stamp the words don't forget. And then there is a string to tie a little bow on the finger. Another thing you can do is there's a Band-Aid in here. So there's a Band-Aid die and a stamp that does little details on the Band-Aid, and you can wrap it around the finger and have the feel better. All right, but I love that you can do don't forget, you're not alone, you're amazing, you matter, I'm here for you. Just a nice, unique card. And there's lots of bling that you can add to it, which I'm going to show you. So let me show you my card, and then we will make it. So here's my card, but it's a little different because it swings. I thought it'd be fun that it moves. There's different ways you can make it move, but I went for the simplest. And I really blinged her out. I even put a diamond ring on her finger, and she has 2 bracelets and a watch. Went a little much on there. And then I did a fun background. So we're gonna recreate this and change a few things up. So this Don't Forget is 60% off. All right, let's start with our background. I'm going to change up the colors on this one. So this background here, I used Aqua Sky. For the example that I'm going to do now, I'm using Sunburst. All right, this is a new, this is Blueberry. I'm going to use the Sunburst background die. Bleh. That's what I used on here too. It just creates a fun background, and this is 40% off. So I have a piece of Blueberry cardstock, and this is cut to be a little bit smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And we're going to use this background die, the Sunburst. But first, I need to add a circle die cut at the center of this for this swinging motion. Just trust me on this, it'll make more sense in a moment. Do you use a mini die cut machine? If you do, what do you like? I like the Gina K Intracut. I think that's a great little machine. Okay, so this is cut to be Blueberry, cut to be slightly smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And I'm going to put a circle die. This circle die is about a 1/2 inch. You could go bigger or smaller. I'll explain more in a moment. But I'm going to put it like a little bit higher than center. All right, and you'll see why in a moment. Yeah, this Don't Forget set is fun. It's just different. I feel like a lot of the things that I use are the same, and that's something I liked about the last set and this one. Best way to get glue off of an acrylic block, I just use rubbing alcohol and just work at it, and it seems to do the trick. But I know there's like stuff like Goo Gone, but I've never used it. All right, so I did a circle. This is like a 1/2-inch circle that I have from a stacking circle set. Now that hole's there, and you'll see why in a little bit, I'm going to take the Sunburst background die. This just is piercing, so it doesn't cut an outside edge. So you could do it directly on the front of a note card. But I'm going to place my background onto it and run that through. And this just is a piercing pattern, just a bit of decoration. On this background, you could stamp, you could use really anything. You could do stenciling, but I thought that little detail was fun for this. Is there a release also done to... So Concord and Ninth released just a handful of products that I think they had used in had available in a class they did in the past. So there's not much released today. So there's our background. Notice the circle's a little bit above center. I'm not using any of the new stuff. I wanted to focus on stuff that's on sale today. Good time to save, right? All right, so there's our background. Now let's finish our hand. I did a lot of it. Here are some different hands that I created. Skin tones. Concord and Ninth has a skin tone cardstock pack, but I don't have any of it. I've used it all up. So I just wanted to mention some other skin tone colors. You could get the paper pack, the neutrals paper pack at Concord and Ninth, or some that are good for skin tones. Spellbinders Acorn. I love that for skin tone. I also like, this one is Warm Glow from Gina K. This one is Wheat from Concord and Ninth. Those are just some different skin tones. There you go. Lindsay said they have 3 new mini bundles that were gifts from the winter retreat. So you can check those out on the website. Okay, I'm gonna make this one. By the way, because they think of everything, they have different length fingernails you can put on. So you could put like a long fingernail, a short fingernail, or medium. I did medium. Why not? Okay, let's see. I'm gonna do, so it can dry, I have the bow, the little bow that we're gonna put along the finger. So there's a die that cuts this, and I cut this from, what's this cardstock? Harbor? I think this is Harbor. Wanted to do some blues. I have tape on here so I didn't lose these die cuts when I had them in a container. Nancy, well done. Mike's probably thinking that too, Nancy. Yep. Mike said yes. Okay. All right, so this is just a little bow for the finger, for the don't forget. Then we have a watch, but let's first do the sleeve. So this is a little sleeve that we're gonna add onto it, but I'm gonna stamp a different sentiment that I did on my other card. I wanted to send this to someone in particular, and I thought the sentiment, "You've got this," would be really nice. So this is another set from Christina Werner. This is the encouraging words. There's a stamp set and a die set that coordinates, and the dies also have like all these small sentiments that you build up. See how there's, like this one says hang in there. This is hanging off me. You can count on me. There's several of those in there. So the bundle, this bundle of the stamps and the dies is 30% off, or the stamp set alone is 20% off. Okay, now there's these beautiful big sentiments, but I just want the "You've got this" here. And I want to stamp that on the sleeve of my hand, but it's too long for the sleeve. So I'm gonna do the thing that makes you all freak out, but I'm doing it anyways. I'm cutting it in half. So now I have "You've," and I can stamp that first. Get that right about there. You've, oops. Come on, stay there. I'll stamp this with black ink. Yeah, this is encouraging words. Robin has a $1,000 cart. Go Robin. I guess Robin now has to whittle things down a bit. So I've got you, and now I could do got this as, you know, 2 separate lines, but I'm gonna do it as one. Sorry, my head gets in the way. And then stamp this in black too. Yeah, cutting stamps like I did here is nice because I got a different look from it, and I can always mount the 2 halves back together how they were intended and nobody would ever know. So it gives you more versatility, but I also know that it really bothers people. Let's do a poll, Mike.
Okay.
Let's do a poll. Do you cut your stamps also? Yes or no? Do you do stamp surgery? Yes or no? I do it all the time. I've never regretted it. Yeah, there should be Vicky's correct. There should be a warning, public service warning when I do it. So ask folks if they cut their stamps. Yes or no? This might have some pink ink on it still, but that's okay. I'm going to stamp with blueberry ink. So this is Harbor cardstock, and I'll stamp. This is a stripe stamp that's in the Don't Forget stamp set, so you can make stripes on your shirts or on your sleeve, I guess, here. So I did some stripes there. So Mike did a poll. Is it there? Mm-hmm. There's a poll at the top of the chat that you can vote on, and we'll see if I'm unusual, which I probably am. All right, so I stamped stripes with blueberry, so I have stripes on my sleeves. Little details, little details. Okay. Next, how long did I have that sticking out here? All right, so I'm gonna add the sleeve down here, and I want the arm to be longer, so I'm gonna have the sleeve kind of hang off the bottom. See how it's hanging there? No one will ever know that.
Yes is winning.
Yes is winning, that's it. I knew it. I'm not the only one. Let me make sure I did about the same. Yeah, that's good. So there's my sleeve. Now, this is the fun part. There's a watch. Can you scroll it? Never. She said never. She's never done it. On this one, I'm just going to put the watch. Look at this bracelet, though. This bracelet die. See, it's like a linked bracelet. Here's the die cut. Isn't that cute? The details they offer. So good. So what percentage is it, Mike? I can't look right now.
Let me see the percent. 58% yes.
58%. That's my crew. 58%. I'm getting ink everywhere. All right, so this is the little watch. Isn't that cute? So all those dies are included. You could use the watch on something else too, like by itself. Come on, it's sticking to my fingers. There we go. There's my little watch. You haven't cut any so far, I promise. Everybody here, that 58% will tell you it doesn't hurt your stamps. They don't scream. I have to use a adhesive eraser to get some of that adhesive away. So there's the cute little watch. Now, yeah, you could do a charm bracelet because, in fact, there are little heart dies, teeny heart dies, that you could have hanging off the bracelet. I just put one of the hearts right at the center of the watch. I probably, my watch is upside down, but that's okay. No one will know. And I put a little ring on here, and then I'm going to add a gemstone to that ring. So she's got a diamond. Why not? Isn't that fun? Yeah, stamp surgery is fun. And then don't forget, which I'll add in a moment. But first, now we have our hand. We'll add the don't forget in a moment. So we need to make this so that it swings. All right? Let me cut the bottom of this sleeve straight. I just want it straight here. There we go. Okay. So we want to make this so that it swings. I'm running out of room already. To do so, I'm making a pendulum card. To do a pendulum, I like to use a penny. Now, some people get really upset when I use a penny. So if you don't want to use a penny, you could instead use a washer. You want something with weight to it. I personally wouldn't use like a button because I don't think it has enough weight to swing. The penny or a washer would work here. But I use pennies. Aren't they getting rid of pennies in the future? What year?
I don't know.
Okay. Mike knows nothing. Somebody will know. So I'm putting, yeah, Vicki, the Tim Holtz trimmer is a great trimmer. I love it. So I covered the back of my penny with double-sided adhesive. Pennies are being discontinued next year. So we all need to make little swing cards. We need a backstory for the hand. And I'm going to take, so I put adhesive on the back of the penny, double-sided tape is best, and I'm putting it at the bottom of a cardstock strip. This strip is about 3 inches, doesn't matter what color, nobody's going to see it. And I just round it around here. So it just has a penny attached to the bottom of it. It's a little more than 1/2 inch wide. It's basically the width of a penny. This will allow us to do a swinging pendulum. Ooh, Brianne is awesome. And Brianne just put a link in the chat to a video where I show more pendulum cards ideas. Hi, Kathy. Hello. Yes, I'm alive. Ish. I'm alive-ish. Kind of-ish. All right. Now, I'm holding this. Let me get a note card. So this will have a little bit of a white trim showing around the outside edge. But first, I'm going to just take my hand, line it up at the bottom here, and I'm going to put a piece of tape across that so it stays like in the right position. So this is just temporary tape. Washi tape would work here. I don't know if my watch is upside down or not, but whatever. I did one way, one the other way. Okay, so there is our hand taped to the front. Now watch this. I'm going to swing it over, flip it over, and there's a little hole here. On that hole, I'm putting a circle foam. Now I have these circle foams, foam circles from long ago. Can you scroll it? If you do not have a foam circle like this, I'd like you to use a circle die that creates circles smaller than your hole here. Die cut a bunch of circles and glue them together so it's basically like a little hockey puck. Or you could use a button. Great way to use up old buttons, like when shirts come with extra buttons that we never end up using. Those little buttons you could put here too. You just want to make sure that the button is a little bit smaller, just a little bit smaller than the hole you cut. I have these foam circles that are just a little bit smaller than this hole, so I'm going to place that right in there. So it's actually, that foam is actually on the back of the hand. It's not, you can see there's a halo around there. It's not touching the blue cardstock. All right. Next, we need some foam tape. I will be using Altenew foam tape. I really like their foam tape a lot. It comes in 3 different widths and 2 different thicknesses. I'm using the thicker here, but by all means you can use whatever you have on hand. I like their foam tape because of the 2 different thicknesses, the different widths, and it's easy to cut. It doesn't get your scissors mucky. It's good quality. I have it linked below. Whenever it's on sale, I stock up. All right, so this is the bottom of the card down here. I put tape around all edges. This one I want right up against the bottom. This one I want right against the sides. Now up here, I can put as much foam as I want. So just leave a little bit, maybe like a, let's do this. Put one along the top. Yeah, this is the best. See, everybody agrees. Best foam tape ever. I'll just put 2 up here. Okay. So now there is a lot of movement, a lot of room around this foam circle, especially down below the foam circle, because that's where you're going to get the movement. So this is going to get placed onto here. I'm going to shorten it a bit. So it's shortened. And then I take this and I place it. So watch, I'm putting the other end of this blue onto that foam circle. And you're going to make sure that this penny isn't too close to the tape on the bottom. And that's it. That's the big key to this. All right. Welcome. This is a great sale, isn't it? Let's see. Do you see where I'm putting these? They go on the floor. All right, now my head's gonna get in the way. I'm gonna place this onto my card. You can see the penny's still back there. I still have this taped on the front. Sorry. Somebody's home. Is Lila home? My card's too wide. When does Lila get home? Lila's volunteering for Safety Village for the next 2 weeks. All right, so now it's on a white card. Now we can take the tape off and say a prayer that it works. Reuse this tape some. All right, and there we go. Isn't that fun? I love it. If you don't want it to swing as much, you could have moved your foam tape in a little bit on the sides. What do you recommend to protect your glass table? So I am working here on a what?
Oh, what mat? Yeah.
I'm working on a magnetic glass work surface. This is from Glassboard Studio, and I have a discount code in the YouTube description below. I highly recommend it. I like that it has a grid. I like that it's glass, so it cleans up easily, and I like that it's magnetic. I mean, you can get the magnets there too, and I mean, we're talking super strong magnets. I use it. I have 4 spots to craft in this room, and I have one of these at each spot. It comes in different colors. Honestly, for me, I didn't need that much glue. Honestly, for me, I prefer black or gray, because if you think about it, most of the cardstock we use is white. So if I'm working on a white work surface, white gets lost. So I like the gray or black, but they have them for sale in all colors. Like you couldn't believe how many different colors they have. Yeah, they have cute magnets. They've got a bunch of stuff there.
Where are those circle foam dots from?
The circle foam dots. They're probably, if you search circle or foam in my link deli, it'll probably come up. I don't know if they're made anymore or not. Yeah, you could use whatever coin you've got. And there we have. Don't forget. I kind of like looking at this. If I did this again, I would make the background lighter and the clothing darker, because see how the ends of Don't Forget get lost on the dark? So I would probably flip that. But there's our, so this uses, this right here is using the hand here is using all of the Don't Forget. And for the background, I use the Sunburst. For this one here, I use Don't Forget, the bundle, which is 60% off. The Sunburst background, which is 40% off. And then I use the You've Got This from the Encouraging Words. All right. Okay. I don't know. They're just going to raise prices on everything, Jen. That's just how it's going to go. Okay. The grid the grid on this surface is under the glass, so it doesn't come off, and it's not etched. It's perfectly smooth. And I just clean this with glass cleaner. All right, so that's Don't Forget. I just thought that was fun, different. Okay. What time is it? We're doing good. Okay. The next 2 I have planned-ish. Planned-ish. Kind of planned. Oh, let me put this away. Are there any questions while I get this out, Mike? Okay.
You think a craft knife would scratch the glass?
I don't know. I don't use a craft knife on it. If I need to use a craft knife, I get out like a cutting mat. I just prefer that. Okay. Next, we're going to do turnabout stamping. And we'll start with the background, and then I'll show you the card. But I need you to vote. We need a vote, Mike. we have 3 different turnabouts that we could use. So here are the 3 different turnabouts. Let me get the Post-its out here. The first one, if you could write in the options, the first one is Flower Patch. We're going to vote which one I use. This is Flower Patch, and this is Meadow. In the Meadow. In the Meadow. And then this one is Pick Me Up. Let's see. I want to see what these are all on sale for. In the Meadow is, this one is 40% off. And then Flower Patch.
Can I start it?
Yeah. Is 50% off. Okay. So there's these 3 turnabouts. This one is Flower Patch. It's 50% off right now. This one is In the Meadow. It's 40% off right now. And this one is Pick Me Up. It's 30% off. So this is Pick Me Up, what it'll look like in the end. This one is In the Meadow, and you can see what it'll look like in the end. They're all floral. And then this one is Flower Patch. Oh, do I have a... I might not have a thing for this one, which will make it harder. So I might not use this one. I can't find my... Look at that. Isn't that fun? So I don't have my... Do I have it in here? Oh, it is here. Okay, it's here. So I could do any of the 3. So which one should I do?
Is going towards In the Meadow.
In the Meadow.
But it's close.
It's close. So vote. I'll give you a moment to vote. And I think for this card, I'm going to use watermelon cardstock. Watermelon. But let's pick a different, bigger piece of watermelon. So you go ahead and vote. Okay, which one? Oh, In the Meadow is sold out. Then we don't want to use that. So what's second, Mike?
Second is Flower Patch.
Flower Patch. Let's hope that one's not sold out. We're going to use Flower Patch. Can you scroll? Flower Patch because it's not sold out. And it's 50% off. Okay. Just 1 second. Gotta get this right. Okay. Now, turnabouts. I have done many videos using turnabout stamps. I mean, many. I bet I have a playlist, and I bet if Brianne's still here, I bet she can find them. But there are different ways to use turnabouts. I've done many videos where using a turnabout with a MISTI stamping tool. So I thought I would show you how to use it with a stamp wheel. This is the easiest way to use a turnabout. So if you have a stamp wheel, you are set. It really is easy to do, and I hope I don't mess it up today. So if you do not have a stamp wheel, please know you can use a turnabout. You can use a turnabout stamp with a MISTI, and I've got many videos showing it. But today I thought I'd use it with the stamp wheel. Okay, so when you get a turnabout stamp, basically if you're new to turnabout stamps, it's one stamp, and if you stamp it once, you get this. If you stamp it once and then turn it and stamp it again, you get this. If you turn it again and stamp it, you get this. And if you do 4 turns and 4 stampings, you get that. So, why do all these companies have sales at the same time? Who else has a sale right now? I don't know of anybody. Okay, so turnabout stamps come with this. Let me put it on here so you can see. It is a clear piece. It's not the packaging, but it's a clear rectangle or clear square with an X down the middle. This is your alignment guide. This is going to help you get your stamp positioned so that you can stamp it as a turnabout. You can use this with the MISTI, but I'm going to use it with the stamp wheel today. All right, so I am placing this, laying this onto the top of my clear plate. So that I always use this at the bottom, this little circle here. there's grid marks on this here. So there's grid marks here that I'm going to follow. So I can easily put the middle of the X right at the middle of the X. So the middle of the X on my alignment guide lines up with the middle of the X on my lid. I don't know if you can see that. Let me get darker cardstock. There, you can see it more. See how there's a little, right where those two lines cross is the middle, and where this X crosses is the middle. So I'm going to line that up there. And then I'm lining up the X with these lines going out. Okay, so that X is lined up with the lines. And this is the bottom of my wheel down here. And so I've got it as a square, and the X lines up. Let me tape it there. Uh-oh, my tape came undone. And then I'll explain more. What about Mike? What about Mike? Oh, is he not going to Greece? He's not going to Greece. It's a girls' trip. He does not want to go to Greece for the girls' trip. That's what... my mom and I are the big time travelers. And my kids. Okay, so let me show you this. Can you see? The X here is lined up with this X. The X on the alignment guide, the black X, lines up with these diagonal lines coming out from the center. So the center of my X is right at the center of my turnabout plate. Easy. Isn't that cool? Super easy. If you have a MISTI and not a stamp wheel, it is possible to do, you can do the MISTI, the turnabout in a MISTI. I've demonstrated it many times. I just thought I should change it up for this one. Okay, so that's taped to the front. And now I'm going to take the stamp and lay it onto the other side of the plate, lining it up with the black. So I'm going to start over here and line up these flowers on the stamp with the flowers on the black on the other side. And then I'm just going to work it around. My head's going to get in the way, sorry. So let's see. Okay, so can you see the stamp is lined up with the black guide on the other? So the guide's on this side, the stamp's on this side. Okay, now you're ready. That's it, okay? So in this stamp wheel is a grip mat here that will hold your cardstock. They also have a sticky mat, so it's up to you which you prefer. And I'm going to put mine right towards the center, as center-ish as I can. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect because I am going to trim this down. So if I don't stamp right in the center, it doesn't matter. The jig, somebody asked what the jig is for the turnabout stamps. The jig is if you want to use, is for the MISTI. You don't need a jig if you are using a stamp wheel. So the jig makes it possible to use a turnabout in your MISTI. It works really well, Okay, so let's see. I'm stamping on watermelon cardstock. Watermelon is one of my favorite colors. You could do white cardstock for this. I'm kind of going messy here. You could do white cardstock for this if you wanted to and do different colors of ink, but I'm doing kind of a tone on tone for this particular card. So I have watermelon ink, watermelon cardstock. So I'm going to start in the first position, which is this hole right here for me. I'll put it down and press all around. I don't need that anymore. I don't need that guide. There we go. Let's stamp it again to make it a little bit darker. Is the triangle gone? I don't know. Listen, a lot of things are going to sell out quick. I know. I wanted to go live earlier, but I just didn't think I could do it. I had to do a few errands before because I was out of town last week. Look at that. So see, you have your first stamping. So that's watermelon on watermelon. Next, I think I'll change it up. What if we do, let's do sweet pea. So that was, tone on tone. So watermelon is more of a peach. I'm going to switch to sweet pea, which is more of a pink. I just thought it'd be fun. All right. So this is sweet pea. This will just give pink on top of that coral color, which will be fun too. Now, last time I did with this hole down here at the bottom, I'm going to turn it so it's on the side. So I'll turn it so the hole's over here. So that's one 90-degree turn and stamp it again. And look at, you're starting to form your background. So this is Sweet Pea. Now, keep in mind, this is a dye ink. I'm going to stamp it again. Hole goes on this side. This is a dye ink, so it will soften and absorb into the cardstock. So you'll have a softer look when we're done. Okay. I'm going to do something here just so you can see it better in the video. I'm going to put this piece of tape. So there was this hole down here at the bottom. It's hard to see in the video. That's like my starting position. I'm going to put this piece of tape on it so you can see it. So the first time I stamped with the tape at the bottom. Okay, that's my first position. The second time I turned it 90 degrees so the tape's over here. Okay, and it fits right in. The next time we'll turn it so it's at the top. Okay, let's see. What do I want to do here? Let's do, is honeysuckle going to be too close? I think it might be. Let's do, Jennifer's overthinking. Let's do sorbet. No? Let's do grapefruit. Let's see if that shows up. If it doesn't, we'll switch. There are lots of turnabouts on sale right now. So you can also go to their site and search on turnabout. So it's up here this time. And search on turnabout and see, you know, which ones are on sale. Everything's on sale except last release. Okay, that looks very similar to the first. So let's switch that to, let's make it a spice cider. So it'll be darker. So don't be afraid to start with colored cardstock and just mix colors together. It really doesn't matter. I'm kind of going, you know, going same color family. Yeah.
Tracy's got me figured out.
Tracy said Mike will probably stay home and play pinball. Mike just said, Tracy's got me figured out. Yep, he just got King Kong. So now we have King Kong and Godzilla, or Godzilla? Yeah. Mike is a, look at my hands. Mike is a saver. Mike has a hard time spending the money that he has saved all his life. And this is his effort to enjoy his hard work. And the best part is he puts them in our basement so we can enjoy them too. Okay, now for the last turn, I'm gonna do white. Let's do, somebody asked about the white ink from Concord and Ninth. Let's see if I've got mine, here it is. Here's the white pigment ink from Concord and Ninth. Oh, that's a good one. I like it because the pad is pretty firm. This is gonna be pretty. So this will give us a lighter look. Now, remember, white inks aren't 100% opaque. So that's last time I did here, the final turn is with this over on the right. He also bought an old pinball game. Oh gosh, that's so cool. What's the old pinball game, Mike?
Paragon.
Paragon. But he likes to mess with the electronics in it and stuff. He was an electrical engineer, so it's right up his alley. All right, so look at that fun background. Isn't that cool? So if you wanted to, somebody asked, how do you mass produce turnabout? What I would do is like make a mark so that each time you put your cardstock in exactly the same place, and go through and do the first stamped position on all of your cardstock, switching out the cardstock between, then go back and do the second position on each. But look at that, isn't that fun? Okay, let's just move this out of the way. So this is the flower patch, which I think is 50% off. I'm gonna heat set this because I have to die cut next. Yeah, Mike is like, it's about time he has some fun with the money he's worked for. Oh, thank you, Judy. Thank you, I appreciate that. I think Mike and I are glad to be back. On Wednesday, I'm going live at 3, and on Friday I'm going live at 3, and I know that's ambitious. But honestly, Jennifer has been having a hard time getting back into the swing of things. So Jennifer decided that she just needs to dive in. It makes me feel better too. Okay, so this is 6 by 6 that I started with. I'm going to trim this down to be a little bit less than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. So you could use a die, but I'm not going to. So this will be a little bit less than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inches. And now I have this strip that I can use on something else too. Isn't that fun? There we go. It's cute. Now you could use metallic ink for some of that. Totally up to you. All right, next up, for the sentiment, I'm going to use 2 together. Let me get this. So one is called All For You. I showed a card sample at the beginning. There's this giant U. Yeah, Jesse says he's happy that I'm back. He wants me to also get back to the gym. There we go. Celebrate you, miss you, for you, or thank you. And this celebrate you could use just on its own too. And I really like the style of this one. And this one is 40% off. So I'm just using the U from this. So you could really add any sentiment strip across that with the word you behind it. So that's All For You. 40% off. Then this one is 70% off. This is a good one. This is called Thankful Scripty sayings. So in this, there's thank you. So you can have that go across a card either direction. I like it diagonal. I think it's cool like that. So you could do thank you going across like this. Wouldn't that be fun with just white cardstock? That'd be fun. So there's thank you, or there is you are so kind. Or you could do you with another word like miss or whatever, or thank. And you can do just so kind. So there are a few different ways to use this. I'm just using the word thank today. So I'm using the thank from the Thankful Scripty sayings and the you from the All For You set. So the All For You is 40% off. The Scripty die set is 70% off, which is great. So I already did thank with white cardstock. I actually cut a few layers and glued it together. Now the U I'm going to cut right from the center of this. You could do vertical, but I'm going to do a side landscape card. Yeah, if you have a stamp wheel, get some turnabouts because really it's the best way to do turnabout stamping is with the stamp wheel. I mean, it's very easy to do with the MISTI once you get the hang of it, but I feel like the stamp wheel just makes it really easy. You don't need a jig. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, thank you. Brenda, do I have more organizing videos coming? Yeah.
You gotta do the big one, the ink one.
I gotta do my ink one and my I have a bunch to do. Let's just say that. I've got a lot to do. I've started most everything. I haven't finished anything. I got sidelined by my dad getting sick, but I will. I will have more. We have ink to do soon. And embellishments to do soon. But to be quite honest with you, I have a lot of travel coming up. Next week I'm going, so my son is, can you scroll it? My son is working at a Young Life camp in Saranac, New York. He's working there for the month. And adults can come stay as guests. And he asked me to come stay. So I get to see him work and see the kids all have fun and participate in that, all that stuff. So I'm going to Saranac next week. And then from there I go straight to Salt Lake City for Concord and Ninth summer camp. So yeah, got a lot going on. Okay, so on the back of that, I put adhesive around it, just some tape runner, and I have a piece of acetate that I'm going to put on there. It's from packaging, nothing fancy, just cut to be slightly smaller than our background. We're going to make this into a shaker window. I know not everybody likes shakers, so you could skip putting the bits on the inside and instead just make a window. All right, to get the center of the O in line, I put this O in here, not with glue, but the center has glue on it, and I line it up, and then I remove the O. So now I have these letters that I can use on another card. I'm not going to use them today, but I have those for another card. Today I'm just using this. All right, next. Let's see here. Okay, let's flip this bad boy over and put some foam tape on the back. Where did that go? If you were foam tape, Mike, where would you be? On the floor. Good call. But it's not. I'll just use this is the 1/4 inch version of that tape. I'll just use it today. I'll just put pieces together. Yeah, the camp that the Crafty camp is Concord and 9th event. Concord and 9th event. Hold on, just one second. Can you let Lila know Gran's getting her? Sorry, y'all. I have a rule with my kids that if I text them, they have to respond, so I have to do the same. Lila just sent me a message. She's done volunteering. What was I talking? Oh, Concord and 9th has their summer camp, which is the most fun crafty thing of the year. And what's cool about theirs is he flies all the teachers out, so we're there together and we play games, and it is hilarious. Hilarious. And I used to be a teacher in past camps, except the year my oldest got married. I missed that one. But for winter retreat, Greg had me be the co-host with him. And so I am the co-host again this summer for the summer camp. So basically what that means is I will do a video that's like my mash video that I normally do for class events, where I mash all the products together creatively. And then I help him host the event, the games and the teaching that folks do and stuff. It's really fun. It's just good fun. Yeah, I highly if you're gonna do an event next year, save up your money for Concord. I think it's well worth it. They do their teaching a little bit different than others. So first you watch a pre-recorded video of the card being made at like slow pace, so you can do it along with them. Then they come to switch to live and they do it again, so you can really nail the techniques just right, which is nice. Okay, so I put tape along the back. Now it's time to do what I want showing through. So I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock. I'm going to show you a trick. Another technique here. So this U window is cut with the All For You. The Thank is cut with the Thankful Scripty Sayings. And now I'm using the quilted card front. Can you see how much that is, Mike? I know it's on sale. I have a piece of white cardstock here. It's like 3.5 by 4 3/4, just smaller than A2. And I'm going to cut that from the quilted card front. So this just does a piercing. It doesn't actually cut anything. I'll run that through.
Sold out.
Oh, this one sold out?
Quilted card front.
This one's sold out. Well, I'm going to show you the trick because there are a lot of different quilted ones that would work for this. Catherine asked what foam tape. This foam tape was the 1/4 inch wide Altenew foam tape, and it is 1/8 inch thick. So let me just show you this trick. This one's sold out, but I want to show you this trick. So you can see the pattern I got. I wanted to double up the lines. So instead of running it back through where it was before, I'm going to shift it. I'm going to try to shift it the best I can. So I'm just shifting it over. So you can see it's shifted. Can you see? I just took it and shifted over about 1/4 inch and then do that again. And this will give us extra lines. The Concord and Ninth Camp is virtual for everybody except the teachers are all together, which is fun because we can all come together on screen at the same time to play games and such. But the, Nada, thank you very much. But the students take it virtually. It's really cool. So look at what you get. See how it's doubled up? Isn't that fun? So if you have a piercing die, you can try shifting and going again, and you'll get a new pattern. Now this doesn't have to be as big. This is going to go on the back here, so I'm going to trim it down a bit. This is going to go right on the back here so that it'll show through. All right, but I first need some shaker bits. I know I got some out. I thought I got some out. Well, shoot. Hang on, let me get some different ones. Are there any questions, Mike? Where'd they go? Hang on, I'm looking for my shaker stuff. Here's diamonds.
You answer what size that foam tape was?
Yeah, I answered that.
Okay, let's see.
I'm putting, these are Honeybee Tiny Diamonds. They're my favorite for shaker because they're tiny and they shake around a lot, and they're clear. They're clear iridescent, so it picks up whatever colors around it. And I wanted to have some coral color sequins, but I don't know where I put them. So let's find something else. Maybe these would work. Or I might go with gold. Hoping these will work. Those look okay with it? Yeah, that'd be good enough. So I'm putting some little sequins. These are flat. I'm kind of spreading them out a bit, just so we have some movement in there. And I know not everybody likes shaker cards. These are Pink and Maine Salmon that I added there. And then the Honeybee Tiny Diamonds, which are my favorite. In fact, I just bought like 5 more packs. They're sitting somewhere around here. Got to put them away. Okay, so I filled that area, and now I'm going to carefully remove the release paper. Yes, good question, Shannon. The difference between using a turnabout with a stamp wheel versus the MISTI. On the MISTI, you turn the paper around on the jig. On the stamp wheel, you turn the plate that has a stamp on it around. Just 2 different ways to do it. I just find that lining up, I shouldn't have done that. The lining up on the stamp wheel is just easier for me because I don't need a jig. I'm making a mess. Did Lila find her?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Good enough. Some of those are stuck there, but that's okay. No one will know. If I could have one platform, what would I get? Oh, that's so hard to say. You can ask in the comments. You know, they work very differently. I think the MISTI is like what you're going to see most people have, and it's a lower price point. But the stamp wheel does have advantages to it. Like it has a bigger base, so you can use more stamps in it. I would recommend just watching videos and seeing, so I'm going to lay this on top, watching videos and seeing what appeals to you based on how you craft. That's fun. Okay, now this gets glued to a card base. Almost done with this one. Some adhesive. Can you go back to the comments? All right. This goes on to, sorry, head, way, okay. That goes on to A2 card base, which I just let it move. And then more questions? I think some of them I answered already. Yeah. Somebody said they liked the Gina K. I did a video years ago with Gina K and Kathy Rakusin and Gina's daughter Rena called Not My Hands. It is the funniest video. It's hilarious. If you've never seen it, you really need to check it out. I don't know whose channel. I think it's on Gina's. Yeah, we need to do another one of those. So these are magnets. I'm just holding that thank right on top. So that Scripty thank is the thankful Scripty sayings is 70% off.
So is that you giving your bat signal to Brianne to find that video?
I bet she could. I bet she could. Okay, next, I wanted to show you something else. Now remember I let you guys vote? The Pick Me Up Turnabout is 30% off, and I used it on this one. So I have two different versions of this card here. Okay, the top one I did with the Pick Me Up Turnabout. This was Sweet Pea cardstock, and I stamped one turn with Sweet Pea, one with Briar Rose, no, with Carnation, and then two of the turns I did with white pigment ink. And then this is the one I did with Flower Patch on Watermelon. But the background is the same in shaker bits in both of them, and I did thank across it. I could have done Miss, or no, Hello is in a different set. I could have done Hello across it, or I could use, like I could have put the Celebrate across it. Really lots of options. Now, I'm also considering, and look I still have the U's from both of them left over. Now, I thought it'd be fun. I haven't added it yet, but I might. Or I might just leave it. See this cute little bee? Isn't that little bee cute? Cute? With the little vellum wings. Thought about adding a bee on here. I don't know if I will. But I could add a bee, like right onto each one there. That little yellow, I'm not sure. But that is from, this is a die set I actually use quite a bit. Can you pull up a Friendly Floral image, Mike? Okay. So that card is from Concord and Ninth website. This is with the Friendly Florals die set that's 30% off right now at Concord and Ninth. Now, what I use in here a lot is, first of all, the friend sentiment. See how it has the word friend and then a shadow die for it. I love that, and I use it a lot. In fact, I've die cut lots and lots of them and already glued them together so they're ready to go. Also, you notice there is a little bee on there. I like to use that bee on other flower sets. And then there's a big oval in the back. See that big oval? Here's the die. You can come back here, Mike. This is a nice one to put at the center of any card. So all of that comes in the same set. So this is called Friendly Floral. And then there's these like cone flowers and other little flowers. I think there's a smaller bee and a little banner. So all that's in the Friendly Floral. But what I did is I got out this little bee from that. So we have, oh, Sharon, thank you. I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Should I add the bee? Mike? Should I add the bee? Oh, shoot. Yes or no? Yep. Should I add the bee? The bat signal. Oh, I'm dropping things. Should I add the bee? Yes or no? This cute little bee. He'd be cute on a little wobbler, but I don't think I'm going to do that. So again, this one is Pick Me Up Turnabout. This one's Flower Patch Turnabout. And this is Sweet Pea and this is Watermelon. I only have one bee ready, but I can put it on one card. Put them, I think I like it on the yellow and the pink. All right, 68% said yes. We're going for a bee on one. The other one I'll have to make a bee later. Or I might put little flowers around it. Let's put that right on there. I love the little vellum wings on them. Doop. That's cute. See them on there? So this background is the Pick Me Up Turnabout. The U is All About You die set. The Thank is from the Thankful Scripty dies. And the B is from the Friendly Florals. And then here we have the Flower Patch background that you just saw me do. And they're both fun shaker cards. And you could do other words besides thank. You could do you, miss, whatever. In fact, there is another die set that looks like the Thankful Scripty, but it has like the words hello there and other things in it. but it's not 70% off. It has a different discount. So there's the next ones. And I have one more. I have one more if you want to stick around for it. It won't take as long because most of it's done. All right. Next. This one was like a last minute, I threw it in thing. And so I have some of it already done. This is the postmarked turnabout stamp. So you can see what it looks like with 1, 2, 3, 4 turns. So to use this, you do the exact same setup that I did with the alignment guide in the stamp wheel, or you can do it in your MISTI, which I have videos that show. So they all come with this alignment guide that allow you to get it just right. Now I made this off screen. I actually made this in a video a long time ago and I never used it. It was still in the pocket, so I'm just gonna use that background. So for this I used dragon fruit and carnation and aqua sky and oceanside. And when you do the 4 turns, this is what you get. Now, one of the reasons I really wanted to show this is 40% off right now, is you know I love postage style cards. I do a lot with waffle flower postage, so you could add those postage products on this background. And you don't have to do each turn a different color. You could make a tone-on-tone background by stamping the same color on the cardstock, on all 4 turns. But I thought this was fun. Now, that is the postmarked turnabout, 40% off. And I wanted to use another thing from Christina Werner, so I love this one, and I've been wanting to use it. This is the Love You So Much die, and it cuts like, I'll demonstrate it. It cuts like a window that you can put on the center of your card, and this is 30% off. So to do this one, I cut it on black, because I have bright colors for my background, so I'm using black now to make it stand out. So I'll just put this like, I want it kind of even on all 4 sides here. I could die cut a rectangle or something, but this is easier. So I did it kind of even on the 3 sides, and we'll run it through. The postage is sold out. Well, search on Turnabout and you can see what else is maybe not sold out. I did hear some people say earlier that they got it, so that's good. So there, this is what it cuts. So you could do that right at the center of a card panel, but I want like a frame. So let's get this out. And that's the Christina Werner Love You So Much, which is 30% off. Yeah, I'm sorry it sold out. I'm sorry. You could use any background there, any turnabout for this particular one. I could switch to another one, but it's almost time. It's almost time for dinner. So Mike has to make dinner. You're making dinner tonight, aren't you?
Yep.
So we can't stay too late. All right, so I just cut it down so it's like a frame. This is where I obsess over it. All right, now I want this on this background, but it's busy. I'm gonna do a trick here. Hang on. First of all, is that the same black? Nope. Just a second. I have multiple black cardstocks here, of course. Okay. There we go. This one works. I have a white note card that's top folding here, and I'm just gluing a piece of black cardstock on the front of it. So it'll be covered with black on the front. Will the items be restocked? If it says last chance, it will not. I don't think it'll be restocked. But yeah, tacos with Gina. We did go and get really good tacos after that. I think products are restocked unless it says last chance. Okay, so now that's just a white note card with black on the front. Yeah, Mike's making dinner tonight. Isn't that nice of him? He's a useful engine. Okay, now because this is bold, I'm gonna put vellum on the back of it, which will soften it and make it stand out better in the inside. So, I'm gonna just quickly put tape on this, just in different spots on the back. I can do some liquid adhesive too, but I don't want to make too much of a mess. I probably should have just put double-sided tape adhesive on the back of this, but I didn't. So I'll put that down and trim the excess off. Yeah, things are, oh, Postmark Turnabout has a notify me button. So that means it probably will be coming back. Thank you, Brian. I wish they could all hear the cicadas that we have to listen to all day. Our house is in Cicada Central. It is so loud. Now this, I'm going to make it a shaker again. But I know not everybody likes shakers, but I'm doing it anyways. Vellum is fun for shakers also. Welcome, I'm glad you're here. I'm going late, you know. I probably will go late on Friday too, because it's my birthday and I don't have anything else to do. Do you have to do the cleaning up as well, Mike? No. I myself or Ken will probably clean up. Usually Ken cooks. I don't cook because I work. My husband's retired. Okay, so there's tape around the outside edge. Now this, yeah, the cicadas, they're deafening. And cicadas are not the brightest. They like fly like crazy. They run into things. You go on a walk and you're like ducking them. They're so loud. Yeah. Okay, so that's on there. This was trimmed down a little bit to go on the card base. So there we have that. Now I need some, hold on. I need some shaker bits. Now, the shaker stuff in here, I don't want it to be distracting. I just want it to kind of cause a little bit of movement to show through. I'm going to put some pink, which you probably won't even tell are pink through here. Maybe that's not a good idea. Let me put those up to the side. I'll refill that later. I'm going to try silver. Let's see if you can see the silver better. Yeah, if you have a MISTI and want to do turnabouts, I recommend getting the jig. You can make your own jig because they didn't sell them at first, but it's up to you. This is where I'm overthink it all. You see, these are black. I think that'll be fun because you'll see those more. Okay, so these are Trinity. Hold on, let me put some down and I'll look. Just spreading them out. These are Trinity Stamps black spots. Then I need my honeybee tiny diamonds that I put in every one. Yeah, I am still at it. I'm about to wrap up though. So I've got those like towards the center here. Kind of spread them out so they're not like piled on each other. And then remove the release paper, and this is going to go on top. Yeah, the jig from Concord, Betsy, you're right. The jig from Concord and Ninth is inexpensive and makes using a turnabout and a MISTI so much easier. Okay. So you can see a little bit of the movement in there, but it's more about the sound when you have vellum. If you wanted to see more of those sequins, you can see them in there, but if you wanted to see more of them, you would want to use acetate. And then you'd see more of the pattern too. But I just thought that was fun to use those two together. And what I'll probably do, I'm out of time, but what I'll probably do is cut this heart from pink cardstock to match the background and glue a pink heart there. I think that'd be fun. So there we go. Let me get all my cards out. I think these are all of them. Yeah, there we go. Yay! And some of them I know are probably sold out, but it's a good sale. It's a good sale. Okay, there we go. Oh, I've got a giveaway. There's an image I sent you, Mike, with some products. So one of my favorite humans in the whole wide world is Vicki Donnelly, and she was here. I don't know if she's still here. The biggest heart of anybody I know. She accidentally, what?
Okay, I see.
She accidentally bought doubles of some products And she texted me today and said, if you're going live with Concord 9th, why don't you do these as a giveaway? So look at that. Woo. Vicki Donnelly, our friend Vicki, is giving this away. So she'll mail it to you. I'll give her your address. That is the Primrose die set. The Primrose die set is one that I've made. I wish I had my cards. I don't know where I put them. The Primrose die set is one that I made a ton of cards from. I think it's 20% off right now. Super popular one. Then there's 2 other stamp sets and 2 sets of ink cubes. Now, in order to be eligible for this giveaway, you just need to have left a comment in the chat. And you can go ahead and do so if you haven't. Mike will randomly pick someone in a few minutes. All right, you can come back up here, Mike. So that's the giveaway. He's going to pick somebody in a few minutes. Just leave a comment below to be eligible. All right, I'm going to try to be better about taking pictures of the cards and posting them in the thumbnails, so it's easier to find these lives later on. I haven't been good about that because usually when the live's over, I go and crash. And then the next day I have to do something else. But I will try to get the pictures up for this and then a blog post too. Again, the Concord and 9th sale, it goes on for a while, but things are selling out, so you might want to check it out. I believe they have free shipping for free US shipping on orders of 125 or more. Hi, Danita. So I'll be sure to check that out. I have a link to the sales below. At the beginning, I showed lots of examples that I have videos for. All those videos are linked on that live page at the top of the YouTube description. So be sure to check all that out. I spent a lot of time getting those lists together of the videos and of the products I used today, so be sure to check them out. All right, Mike, do you have a winner?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's CC Haxton.
CC Haxton.
C-E-C-I-E. Haxton.
C-E-C-I-E Haxton. Email me through my website, jennifermcguireinc.com, and you can send me your address, and then we will get that sent out to you. And my giveaways are for international too. If CC's international, I'll ship it over there. All right? Okay, so that's it for today. I will be going live on Wednesday at 3 p.m. and Friday at 3 p.m. And I have more fun things planned for those also. So I hope I will see you there. And thanks so much for being here. Take care.